Alright, so what I'm going to do is show you proper setup to check your micron gauge on your SMAN3. So let's look at the setup. First, with the ports, I got two capped off, the high side and low side capped off. I have the low side closed, ensure that it's closed, and I have the high side open. And then what you want to do is have a ball valve at the end of it. What we're trying to do is just isolate as little causes of the leakage as possible and just isolate the vacuum purely in the manifold itself. Okay, so I have the ball valve connected to a vacuum rated hose, and I have the hose going to your typical vacuum pump. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn this on. And you'll notice the 29 inches of micron going on the high side. The low side is not reading because I have it closed. And so you can see that the vacuum drops pretty fast because we only have one hose hooked up to it. I set my alarm for 150 microns to pull down. But all we're really looking for is to make sure this is fairly stable. This will go up and down. Right now it says it's decreasing if the micron gauge is still going down. If you see this flipping over, it means it's increasing. And as it's stabilizing, you'll see that go back and forth until the reading is actually stable. So what we're going to do is just pull it down to a pretty low level, which we got, and then turn it off and watch what happens to the microns. You'll see that they rise very quickly. Now what we're going to do is do that same process, but we're going to close this valve down here. That will isolate the manifold, just the vacuum in the manifold, so we can see where that leak might be. So again, we're back down to 230 microns or so. I'm going to go ahead and close this valve. It's closed, and then I'm going to turn we got to close it a couple times because something leaked in there, so we'll open and close it a couple times to make sure that valve might have had air in the valve pocket, and that's what made it go up. Okay, so now I have it closed, and let's do it a couple more times. Okay, so I just closed it, and you can see that it's stable at 240. So now I turned it off, and you can see how those microns are rising much slower than they were when connected to the hose. So likely that will take a long time to get up to even 500, but 1,000 for sure, which what most manufacturers recommend is that it stays under 1,000 microns for 5-10 minutes or so. Now you can watch. I'm going to open up this valve, and we're going to see what happens to the microns. You notice it goes instantly to OL. I have my pump off. I didn't take anything out here. And that's just either the hose is leaking, this vacuum pump is leaking. So what you really want on your system is to be able to isolate it with some type of valve.